Is the music coming out for anyone else? Raise
It
your
is
hand if it
not.
is.
It is not. Oh well, it's time anyway. So hello.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
thank you, Johnny, for joining us again. Very excited for this
of course,
version
man.
of our AMA. Like I said, all the questions that we're answering today are going to be, we're sourced from the community, and so this is going to be a lot of fun. Have some fun announcements for everyone too, which is going to be great, as well as some mechanic questions that have been asked over the past week or so. Uh, I know a few people were a little bit disappointed in where we were at as far as the delay went, but I think we'll have some cool information for you that might make that a little bit easier to bear. So let's get going real quick. Johnny, you are up.
Awesome. Okay, so we have quite a few questions this week. First on the list is how do NFTs plug into the game? The starter champions and the champions used in the streams are not actually NFTs. Could we see a video or get an example when it's interacting with the blockchain?
Yeah, okay. So right now, besides the starters, every other champion will be NFTs, right? The same system that's used to update in-game stats instantly is also reflecting the updated NFT metadata. So there is a system that is in place that updates both stats and updates metadata. As a lot of you know, if you've been in the space for a little bit, NFTs in general, you can have metadata that is updatable, and so the team here has built a system where it is able to instantly update, and it will be reflected in places like OpenSea and things like that.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, next question. Are we able to play with Chaos Champions in the early
Yeah, so
release?
this is something that's been asked a few times right now. But in the early release, there are rare occasions where players can obtain Chaos Champions in the first place, right? So, Chaos Champions, if you haven't been around for our other AMAs, they are rarer and generally stronger than their non Chaos versions. But once obtained, players will be able to use Chaos Champions throughout the rest of the game. And so that includes early access. So if you have a Chaos Gears, for example, you will be able to use that. Super stoked to see everyone kind of kicking each other's butts.
Great. That sounds exciting. So, next question was about the land. Why was it sold at that date rather than waiting? And they're mentioning that that had affected the token price and which tanked.
Yeah, so we had an issue here where a lot of the um, some people in the community ended up selling a little bit of their token to buy land. But the reason that the land was sold at the time it was, in order to mint new NFTs in game, solar land is actually required, right? So everyone who bought land right now, that's the way that new NFTs can be minted. You can't mint without land. So the idea is that the solar land sale had to be completed before the game's release, before the EA came through. And so the team has decided to provide a buffer period to kind of build up hype and attract more players to the project as we move into EA. So that was kind of the thinking there. I know a lot of people didn't necessarily agree with that, but the team did think that was the best way to move forward. And obviously, we needed land in order for that to be. Actually usable to be able to mint NFTs in game. So that needed to happen before EA, which means the timing was kind of set.
Okay, well said. So, next question is, are we able to trade our NFTs on OpenSea before the early access? And if
Yeah,
so, when?
so basically at the moment, players are only able to trade their champion NFTs after the official launch of EA. So when EA comes up, that's at the point at which OpenSea will be available. For now, that's not going to be happening until EA is released.
Great. Thank you, Matt. Next question is about marketing. What type of marketing outside of the waypoint marketing will be done? And can the marketing be focused more on the token and ecosystem around
Okay,
the
so
game?
two separate parts to this question here. I'll get to the first part first. The team is actually exploring various marketing options beyond waypoints, and they're very much open to considering a bunch of different options, anything that's viable. They've already laid the foundation for other partnerships during the land sale, and they may continue to pursue them. So there are things in the pipeline at the moment, but nothing we're releasing at the moment. Um, but since the OpenSea land sale, the team has been solely focused, right, at this point, building up marketing for the token and growing the ecosystem around the game. So after the land sale, that's where the attention has shifted. I'm going to be moving more towards building up the ecosystem, building token, making sure the use cases are known, that sort of thing.
Great. Okay, changing topics here. Will the trailer be dropped soon, or is it being released exclusively with Epic
Yeah, okay,
Games?
so another good question here by the community. The trailer is going to be released in conjunction with the start of the marketing campaign for early access release. It will not be exclusive to Epic Games. So while it will be used, obviously, for promoting the EA release on Epic, it will be part of the marketing campaign that we are putting together as we roll up towards that early release. So you'll see it sooner than you'll be able to play the game.
Can't wait. I can't wait. Next question I'm interested as well about, are there any talks about making the actual trainers NFTs as
Yeah, so
well?
there's definitely been discussions about turning the trainers into NFTs, but players are not going to be able to have that initially. That's going to be closer to the full release of the game. So this is something that the team is looking at, but it's not going to be available during the early release.
Okay, great. Next question we've answered a few times, but we'll talk about this again. There have been many moments in time where the spread between Matic and Champ has been favorable to do buybacks and burns. Why is the team not taking these opportunities to leverage the Matic they have to burn the most
Yeah, so the
tokens?
answer I have from the team on this one is the team is actively monitoring Matic's price to identify opportunities for conducting these buybacks and burns. In February, for example, during Matic's 12-month price high, the year price high there, the team actually ended up buying and burning 1 million champ tokens. So that's something to be aware of. The team is monitoring it. It's not something they've forgotten about. We're still not going to announce when those are happening, but the team is monitoring price spreads.
Okay. Next question. Will we need Matic in game for gas? Or will Champ literally be the only thing needed for
Yeah, so since we're
transactions?
on Matic for the champ token, we do need a small amount of Matic in order to use it for gas. So it's not only champ, it's not gasless transactions. You do need a small amount of Matic in order to, for example, buy champions from the marketplace.
Yep, makes total sense. Following that is the white paper contains a link to register for a newsletter. We have had the opportunity to opt in since last year. However, I do not remember receiving a single newsletter.
Okay. Yeah. So at the moment, the team does know that we have a newsletter. That's definitely something they're aware of. There's quite a few subscribers on that newsletter, and leading up to the game's release, the team is looking at leveraging that. So, potentially look forward to getting a newsletter or two as we get closer to the game release.
Excellent. And following this is the egg drop rate. Is it affected by the number of people on that specific plot of
Okay, so
land?
this is another question. I know a lot of the community members have ended up buying land. So, the mechanics around egg drop rates, the mechanics around, battling champions on land is super important right now. And this kind of speaks to that. So, the egg drop rate right now is not affected by the number of people on a specific plot of land. The reason for that is the drop rate is designed to be fair, right? So, if you're there, if there's, one person or 30 people on the same piece of land that's hatching eggs, whatever the limit is on that, which I do not personally know, the egg drop rate will be the same based on the individual player, not based on how busy a plot of land is.
Great. Bear with me on this next question. It's a long one. Does the game currently house the ability for players to review their states? Well,
Stats, I
I
think
assume they mean
stats. Yeah.
stats here. Stats, for instance, KDR, or battles most won using Champ X or Champ Y, or leaderboards, XYZ. A decent example the user's giving is Call of Duty, and the ability for gamers to measure their play against others is a big
Yeah, I
driver.
mean, fair enough. I mean,
Uh,
this is something that, like, when I personally played Call of Duty, I loved it, right? Looking at my KD ratio and see where I'm sitting on these leaderboards and whatnot. And so, a leaderboard feature in game right now, which will allow players to track their performance and compare it against other players, will be planned. It's going to be for the full release, though. It will not be during EA necessarily, but that is something that will be there for full release.
Okay, great. The next question is interesting. Assuming that the team will emulate other successful games, do they have a roadmap that frames, holiday season themes and how we can leverage this in game to promote rewards, player base, buyable items, and can we share this
Yeah, yeah, of
high
course.
level
I mean,
talk?
like, this is one of those things. Like, you have various holiday sales. You have things that are specific to, Halloween or New Year's or Christmas or whatever that is. And the team does have a roadmap in place for that, and that's involving various holidays, like I was talking about, various seasons, and live events for that matter. There will be live events that are not necessarily tied to any of those seasons or anything there. Um, but most of these events and most of these elements will be present in the full release. They're not going to be present mostly in the EA. What will be present is a little bit of that, but you're not going to see that move full fledged until the full release is out there.
Okay, great. And what other elements of the game do you feel employ successful tactics, features that major games are utilizing to draw in new gamers and retain repeat gaming and
Yeah, so there's a
purchases?
few different things here. Number one, that leaderboard is going to be super important, right? Making sure that you know where you stack up against other people. Competitive stacking is something that, a lot of people will come back for. I know that's something that I love, and saying, hey, I'm number one, right? Or, hey, you just beat me. I want to beat you back. But another thing that they're doing is the team is considering adding large prize pools and other competitive elements. So, like prize pools for competitions, PvP matches, things like that, tournaments. And so there potentially will be an opportunity to win that sort of thing, in addition to all the competitive elements that I mentioned. So people are going to be coming back not only for the gameplay, not only to collect all of the champions, but also to, potentially win some Matic or Champ or whatever those prize pools look like.
Excellent. So the next question, can we add the about section of our YouTube channel a link to our website? Can we add an about section from our YouTube channel to link to our
Yeah, so this
website?
is something that actually was recently added to the channel's about section, so you can go and check that. That's also there's also links to Dex tools, which obviously you can check the token price there, Twitter and Telegram channels. So everything's kind of starting to be linked a little bit better. Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up.
Awesome. I love Dex tools. Great, great app. Okay, the next is major improvement to the original alpha release would have been properly mapped and noted keyboard controls. For EA and future state full release, will the game have equal ease of use for both controller and keyboard mouse players? And will controls be adjustable for player preference and all
Yeah, so long,
peripherals?
long question there. Let's see if I can get to all of it. First of all, for the early access, the game will be accessible for controller and keyboard players. So you'll be able to play it with both, which is really cool. And then in addition to that, custom controls based on player preference is planned for the full release. So that's a feature that will be rolling out as we get closer or in the full release. But when the EA is released, you'll be able to do both keyboard or controller.
Okay, and moving on to the soft currency in the game. can the soft currency in the game only be purchased with champ?
So, okay, this is really interesting. The soft currency in the game, right, which is the in-game currency that is not champ, um, that game currency can only be earned in game. It cannot be purchased with any external currency. It can be earned in game by playing the game, by completing various tasks, various quests, various activities within the game, and you will earn that. You will then be able to spend that on things that you need in the game. Things like potions for health and potions for MP and things like that.
Okay, thanks, Matt. And we're coming up to the last 6 questions here with some exciting news. But the next question now is, I have read about some games exploring the use of AI, Chat GPT and others, to take conversations with NPCs to a whole new level. Has the team considered eventually incorporating AI into the game?
Yeah, so the development team has actually already incorporated AI technology to enhance NPCs. There's no plans to incorporate ChatGPT specifically, but there is AI technology that's incorporated into the NPCs to make the game a little bit more lively, let's say.
Oh, that's great. Great. I love ChatGPT. Next up is, will a 30% burns from land happen automatically? And they follow up with, this would be a great way so users have no reason to care about front running others or the burns.
Yeah, so the 30% burns from the lands, right? 70% of the champ that's being used to utilize the land to hatch eggs and things like that will be going to the players and the owners of that land, right? But the 30% burn will happen automatically. There will not be any need for manual intervention. So if someone pays 100 champion, as soon as that is paid, 30% of that is burned, and the 70% will be going to the landowner. So that's really cool, and I know a lot of you in the community that are listening right now. We're very excited about that. So I can confirm that is part of what's happening at the moment.
Okay, and next we have a question: Are gift boxes guaranteed in-game items, or will it work like a lottery
Yeah,
slash
so
reward?
there's no specific items that we're guaranteeing to gift box person here, gift box person there, or specific NFTs. But all gift boxes are ensuring that players will receive some form of in-game item or NFT. So we're not promising anything specific, but it is a mystery at the moment, right? You will open that box and you will get something cool that you can use in-game. That could be an NFT, that could be something else. You're going to have to wait and see.
Okay, and changing tune here to security. Will there be extra security for our accounts to FA? And can we change our payout address in
Yeah,
early
so at the
access?
moment, what the team is implementing is email verification will be required at a minimum to ensure that only you who is authorizing, any changes to your account. For example, any sensitive information on the account, that sort of thing has to go through an email verification. So there is that security measure that has been added.
Okay. So finally, we have, so since Twitter is our main focus for the current marketing plan, why are we not at least posting daily? Our our competition are not released soon, and yet they have triple the amount of tweets in a week compared to us.
Yeah, so at the moment, there is a schedule in place to actually increase tweet frequency. So you do have that to look forward to in the coming weeks. And we're definitely confident that this is going to yield results. We've already seen some quite good results, since I've been able to come on and work with the team on the Twitter strategy. And this is just going to increase, right? We're not letting it lie. We're not stopping. We're going to move forward on all of that.
Awesome. Great to see our community doing some, competitor research there. Okay, so our last question is a big one. Why was the listing on Epic delayed? And why did the team not communicate the delay
Yeah,
sooner?
so this is a hard one. Anytime that we work with larger companies, we're kind of at the mercy of those larger companies and their processes. We did, as a team, give April, right, as the date for the EA, and that has obviously come and passed. But we did anticipate a faster review process. That's why there was a delay there. Due to the nature of what we're doing in blockchain specifically, blockchain projects, blockchain games going on Epic, on our side that we had to recover from. So that's why the delay happened. That's why things didn't launch in April as we did try to. We did our best. Didn't happen. There was some admin delays there, but the good thing about that, we are excited to announce that the Celestia store page is scheduled to go live on the Epic Game Store today. Point today. It is expected today, which is great. And then the official release date for our early access has been confirmed. So drum roll, please. Yep, there we go. That's what I needed. Has been confirmed for this month on the 28th, right? So early access will be available on the 28th of this month, which is really cool. I know a lot of you wanted a hard date, and here's the hard date, right? May 28th this month. The team has planned another marketing campaign to generate more interest and excitement leading up to the game's release. So store page going live today. You'll be able to play the game on the 28th of this month. And there's another marketing campaign coming as well. And like we said earlier, focus definitely is moving towards both the EA and the Champ token. So lots of good news there. That's all we have for the community questions for now. Would love to take any questions we have from the community in this chat at the moment. So just please, request to speak, and we'll get you up here.
Yeah, we got Trevor up. I'll give him access. Go for it, Trevor.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, thanks for taking me, and absolutely loving these AMAs. They're so in depth, and there's so much knowledge to attain. And I love how the team's responsive to everything, and even considers a lot of our suggestions we do. One thing I'm pretty actually, I thought it was kind of bullish was seeing that the team got those 100 ETH in land for the land sales, and they didn't need to rush and use them and spend them for any kind of expenditures. So I was like, man, that actually is pretty sweet. But in the same sense, do we happen to know anything what their expectations are with that ETH, if they're going to use it for resources or marketing? That we're obviously, you said that we're going to be doing a whole nother phase of marketing now, since we're going to be launching on the 28th.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think that the land sale ETH that's sitting in that wallet is a good sign. It's something that, like you said, doesn't need to be spent immediately. I think you're ringing on your side.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. Let me go outside real quick.
Yeah, but it's really, really cool. Let me pause you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, so the good thing is, obviously that money is going to be used towards, that ETH is going to be used towards furthering the game, right? So specifically what that's going to be used towards, I don't know personally, but it would make sense for that to be used, towards marketing, towards promoting the game, towards, expanding the dev team if that's needed. I don't know personally, but obviously that money is going to be going towards the game and kind of promoting what we're doing.
Gotcha. And another thing I wanted to ask, one thing that kind of got me concerned, like, when we did have the delay, we used like the same snapshot for marketing, and then like some of the visual content we're using seemed to be recycled a bit. And I was like, man, do we really not have any other content to use? Or I could see now more possibly in hindsight that maybe we're just kind of our date. Well, yeah, around that. What's your opinion on that? With like the content, we kind of used everything just in the dungeon area. And if we have like 4 different regions, I figured we would have explored those realms a little bit more.
Yeah, so personally at the moment, I have access to the updated streaming build, but what I don't have access to is the full EA at the moment. So, as soon as I'm able to get access to that, obviously there'll be more content coming out from that. Right now, over the next week, you're going to see some more information regarding mechanics, right? That maybe you missed during the marketing with Waypoint. And then as I get access to that, you'll start seeing more things about the larger game. It just really depends on how we want to move forward, how that lines up with the next marketing campaign, things like that. So there's more content coming. There's a trailer coming that's going to be lining up with our marketing campaign. There's all the stuff with Epic, right? So it's happening. You just gotta wait a little bit longer.
Nice. That was pretty much all I had to say. And loving the AMAs, looking forward to more of them. And then hopefully, one last thing is the passive rewards. I think it would be really cool to get some kind of a short video clip. I know we've talked about this before, but I think that's like aesthetically pleasing and also informative at the same time. And hopefully, if the team's able to and not too burdened with any other kind of work that they need to do, that they'd look into that. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the suggestion, man. Thanks for coming up, and I appreciate you. So up next, we have Voidstar, and then Freelancer, and then NFT Decorum. Voidstar, you're up.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going? My questions are based off. The first one is the land. You keep saying new champions can only be minted from land, but what about the champions that can be earned in game through like dungeons and raids? Is that just like a terminology that you're saying? It's a bit. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, so what I've been told is that in order to mint champions, right, you have to be utilizing land. You will have things like egg drops in dungeons, right, that you then need to go to
Got
land,
you.
right, in order to hatch, right? So, the starter champions here are not NFTs, but the champions that are hatched are, right? You go to land, you spend a little bit of champ, you have a hatched NFT that then you own and can sell or use as you want to, right? But as far as getting an NFT from a dungeon, that's maybe not going to happen, but you will get eggs from various things.
Okay, that's amazing. That's great. And my second question is, last year in April we were teased about seasons. Uh, Basically, NFT Champions tweeted, "Dark Albion, Root of Corruption will be the first raid boss of the season." Do we have a first season as soon as early access starts, or no? Or
That's a really good question, and I do not know.
okay,
Um,
okay.
I will let you know as soon as I do. I'm sure we'll make a big hullabaloo about that as soon as we announce anything along those lines.
All right, awesome. And just one more question, if I can. It's about another post from last year in April about variants. There's a 15% chance of evolving into a variant. Does that count? Does chaos come under variants, or is that a whole different thing entirely?
Once again, I do not know specifically. I would have to ask the core
Okay.
team about that. So that's a good question. Send me a message on Telegram, and I'll get that answered.
Okay, awesome, man. No, thanks for answering my questions. And just what the team's done with this game in a year and a half is unbelievable. It's incredible. Like I've not seen anyone create a game like this fast in blockchain. It's amazing. And also shout out to yourself, Matt. Like you've been great. The whole team, the whole community loves you, man. Yeah, just wanted to say that before I say goodbye. See you later.
Yeah, thanks, man. Definitely appreciate it. It's great to have you around, and looking forward to beating you when CA comes out.
Cheers.
Hey, Freelancer, you're up.
Yo, hello. You guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Cool. Void covered a lot of what I wanted to talk about. So I think I've kind of got one question. So we know that we've now got the 28th. That's amazing. I could book my holiday. I know when to do it for. But regarding people that own lands and actually sort of getting sort of face to face with those, will the first time that we get to actually sort of, explore our land, look at it and actually see what champions are on it, will we have to wait for early access, or will there be any way for landowners to kind of have a sneak peek of what they've got?
As far as I'm aware, there's no sneak peeks planned, so you're gonna have to wait for early access unless something changes. Um, I'm actually really excited about the big explosion of posts that come as soon as EA comes through. It's like, oh man, I got this land. Look at the champions that are on it. Hey, I just hatched this on my land. But yeah, as of now, there's no sneak peeks.
Cool. No worries at all. And yeah, I just want to echo as well and say thank you very much for your patience with the community. I think we're all really excited to play, and that energy comes out in strange ways sometimes. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being a part of it. And so, yeah, super excited. Some really great information coming out today, both about some mechanics, about egg drops, mechanics about NFTs hatching on land, as well as our Epic Games listing. So look for that store page for the actual game to be on Epic today, and get ready for early access coming out on the 28th of this month. Super cool that we have a hard date. If we have any other questions, now would be the time to raise your hand and kind of come up and ask those questions. But if not, that's going to be it for today. Thank you to everyone who actually came out today, that listened to this. Come on out to the Twitter. Come say hi in the Telegram. Come ask questions. Oh, we have NFT Decorum real quick. NFT Decorum, you are our last speaker here. Go on ahead.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Last year I had the Epic tier, and my account, my account got hacked, and so I was holding the account for about 11 months, and so I was really close to getting the Epic tier, and it's on one of my MetaMask account, the one that got hacked. So I rebought in a different account, but I know you guys said we have to the rebought the Epic tier at a different account, but I know you guys said we have to wait until we can able to switch the payout address. But all of my NFTs are on the hacked account, so I can't transfer that. So my question is, when I transfer those NFTs to my new account, am I going to be able to pick up where I left off? Because I only had 1 month left until I got the Epic, started getting the Epic drops, or do I have to wait an additional 12 months again to get all of that, to get the Epic drop back again?
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good question, and that's something I'm going to have to clear with the team. So come on over to the Telegram community, message me. I won't message you because I'm one of the admins in there. I'm just Matt NFT Champions. So come give me a message, and we'll try to sort you out one way or another.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor, you have one more question?
Yeah, can you when you were explaining something you said about the launch on the 28th, but you said something was gonna be open on Epic Games Store. I don't know if it was only my mic.
Yeah,
It was kind of
the store
yeah, it
page.
was the
So
store
like
page.
the idea of like, hey, this is coming soon. Hey, we have a game that's coming out in Epic, right? So there will be that's coming up today.
Sweet, awesome. So it's actually gonna have a post of us, gonna have us on there, and it's gonna have like coming soon, and maybe have like a date range or something on there, or
Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So I'm sure as soon as that goes up, we'll hear all about it in the Telegram groups. So
Awesome. Looking forward to the trailer too. I hope it's as good as the first one, and I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, very excited with all that. So thank you so much for everyone for coming. This is our 4th version of the Community AMA. Some good stuff coming out. We have a hard date for the Epic Games EA. Let's start the countdown timer. I want to see one of those within within the community when I get back in the Telegram. So thank you so much. We're going to close this down now. Talk to you in about 2 weeks right here on Twitter Spaces. Come say hi and see you all soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Matt. Great stuff.